What is reformulation? Reformulation is tinkering, it's altering, it's changing, it's deviation from the original, it's messing with it. So today we're going to find out whether or not this new formulation of Dior Homme is a Dior Homme, or if it is a Dior, oh my God, what have you done? Hey, what's cracking YouTube? I'm Brandon. This is DaVinci's Alchemyst. All my new viewers, as well as my subscribers alike, thank you guys for coming and watching this video today. Today we are going to be checking out the new formulation of Dior Homme, also known as Dior Homme 2020. So in the world of fragrance, reformulation happens for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes the ownership changes hands of a house or a label or a brand, and somebody new will kind of want to mess with it a little bit. There are also times when IFRA will change their policy on certain ingredients. Whether or not they will completely ban an ingredient, that happens sometimes, or if they will lessen the allowable amount in a fragrance. So that will change the formulation a whole bunch as well. Bad IFRA. Sometimes the ingredients that perfumers use are no longer available, whether that be because there's a shortage, or maybe the producer that they got that ingredient from, they will no longer be, producing it, farming it, making it, whatever. So they got to find a different source for a similar ingredient or the same ingredient. So a lot of times that will change literally just from the source. And a lot of times fragrances will be reformulated simply because a brand or a house is trying to remain relevant, which is kind of what I'm getting from Dior Homme 2020. So before I share with you guys my feelings about Dior Homme 2020, I'm going to just read off a list of the note breakdown that I've gotten from different places that I've dug up. On their boxes and their sample cards and stuff like that, it actually only says 2 notes, which is Atlas cedar and cashmere wood, but there's definitely a lot more going on. So what I've been able to dig up so far is pretty universally, from what I've found, is that the notes are bergamot, pink pepper, elemi resin, patchouli, Atlas cedar, cashmere wood, excuse me, musk, vetiver, and ISO-E super. This is what I have been using for the last couple of weeks. I got a couple of these samples from the lovely ladies at the fragrance counter of my local Nordstrom, and they hooked me up. So bottom line with the way that I feel about this is the only time that this is shining for me is in the very first opening spray. It's definitely citrusy, the bergamot and that pepper element. It has a nice fresh zest sort of appeal to it, but that doesn't last very long. It really only lasts for about 15 minutes. And then from that point on, for me, it kind of starts getting this very chemical-laden feel to it. This is one of those freshies that is definitely a lot more aimed towards the mass market, the mass appealing area. It is a 100% deviation, in my opinion, of the original Dior Homme. All of those things that were in Dior Homme, that awesome iris note, that calming sort of lipstick / makeup bag feel that Dior Homme had, it's not here anymore. It's 100% completely 180 from the original. And those are all the things that I really enjoyed about Dior Homme. I don't have a bottle of Dior Homme myself, but I do have the Intense, and I friggin' love the Intense. With Dior Homme 2020, and it sort of going into that, like I said, that mass appealing sort of genre, I really feel like maybe they kind of jumped the shark on this. I feel like it would have been a better idea had they decided to release this maybe in May and then literally call it Dior Homme Summer. Because to me, this is a very summertime, springtime centric fragrance. Again, it has a lot of that synthetic chemical note breakdown that tends to affect my nose, I just don't like it. It's sharp. It's difficult to get through, and it creates that swimming in a pool with a bunch of chlorine, and you get out of the pool, that feel in the back of my nasal cavity. And so for me, I don't like it. I'm definitely going to not buy a bottle of this. So once my samples are done, they're done. I'll probably just give these away. I got some people that I know that like a lot of that freshy sort of stuff, and they might like this. I actually compared this a little bit on my hand to Dior Sauvage, thinking that, you know, they might be similar, and Sauvage blows this out of the water. And I don't like Sauvage like that much, honestly. It's definitely not my favorite. I don't hate it, but it's not, you know, something that I love. And I was really surprised that this just completely tanked compared to Dior Sauvage, because I really felt like that's kind of where they were going with it, like they were kind of making a doppelganger, but no, not at all. Dior Sauvage is way better than Dior Homme 2020 in my opinion, and the original is certainly better. So real quick breakdown as far as my scoring. So again, 0.5 to 5 on my scoring, scent, sillage / projection, and longevity, and then overall. So for me, the scent, great opening blast, has that zesty sort of feel to it. I give it a 2. I don't absolutely friggin' hate it, but it just doesn't wow me. It's got that chemical funk to it, and I don't really get a lot of that woody cedar that they're talking about having in this. And the vetiver, forget it. I can't smell vetiver for shit in this, and that's weird for me, because typically vetiver is a note that I can pick out of a fragrance really, really well, and this I don't get really hardly any vetiver. Anyway, so scent is a 2. The sillage and projection, as far as coming up off the body, leaving a cloud, it's pretty much average. I was noticing that it's a nice little bubble in my general area, so I gave it a 2.5 for the sillage / projection. Longevity, for me, on my skin, Dior Homme 2020, it was a little bit below average. It was really only around 5 hours. Had to reapply as I was, trying to get a good test on this so I could give a good review. And yeah, it just really didn't last all that long. Roughly about 5 hours, and I actually can't even smell it on my skin anymore after that 5-hour point. So 2 on the longevity. So combining all those scores together, the overall score that I give to Dior Homme 2020 is a 2, just a 2. It doesn't wow me, and it is such a deviation from the original that it is a shame for them to actually call it Dior Homme, because it's got nothing to do with the original. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm really flummoxed as to why they did that. The song that blasts off in my head while I was wearing this is I'm Not Okay from My Chemical Romance, which is kind of apropos if you think about it, with the band being My Chemical Romance and this being mostly a chemical sort of fragrance to me. So that's it for me. It was a nice short review because I really wasn't a big fan of it. I'm not saying you guys shouldn't check it out. I'm just one guy, it's just my opinion. But definitely sample this before you buy. Go to Nordstrom's, dude. They are super, super awesome and nice about handing out samples of anything when you need it. And if they don't have these little bad boys, they will set you up a little spray vial. They do that at Sephora as well. So go get yourself a sample. Try it, see if you like it, and if you do like it, you can tell me I suck. But for me, it's not a like, it's not a buy. Dior Homme 2020, it will never be in my collection. Once again, guys, thanks for coming and watching my video on Dior Homme 2020. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so now. Hit that button, mash the shit out of that notification bell so that you know when I drop more videos. And go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know if you guys have tried this, and if you have, let me know what you think in comparison to the original Dior Homme from the day. Hope everybody's having a wonderful week, wonderful day, beautiful night, and remember, whatever it is you're doing, don't forget, keep calm, stink pretty. See you around.